So, as we all know that yesterday we have started discussion on ethical publishing and avoiding plagiarism, wherein we have discussed ethical publishing in detail after discussing the structure of the research paper for Scopus journals. So to avoid plagiarism, let us start. First of all, we need to understand what is the meaning of plagiarism in academic research. So plagiarism is the unethical practice of using someone else's work, idea, or words without giving proper credit. It includes verbatim copying, paraphrasing without attribution, and self-plagiarism. In academia, the consequences range from paper rejection to termination of employment. Understanding the boundary between inspiration and imitation is essential. While unintentional plagiarism may arise due to poor citation practices or lack of understanding, the responsibility remains with the author. Proper referencing systems such as APA, MLA, or Harvard are key tools to avoid this issue. For example, paraphrasing an author's analysis on consumer behavior trends must be followed by an in-text citation. Encouraging original interpretation, analysis, and voice is what builds academic integrity. Faculty must embrace citation tools like Mendeley, Zotero, or Turnitin for rigorous and ethical scholarship. So let us explore the topic further with the help of a caselet. In 2022, a faculty member at a reputed Indian business school submitted a research article to a Scopus Index journal on strategic marketing in digital platforms. During the peer review process, the editors flagged 38% similarity through Turnitin. The problem stemmed from multiple paragraphs copied from companies' white papers and prior journal articles without paraphrasing or citation. Upon inquiry, the faculty claimed unawareness and believed the references in the bibliography sufficed. The journal desk rejected the article and reported the issue to the institution. Please note, the faculty was asked to undergo training on plagiarism and ethical writing. This case underscores that even unintentional plagiarism can severely damage credibility, delay publication, and tarnish institutional reputation. So the question based on the caselet is, what are the key differences between intentional and unintentional plagiarism? Yes, please.
So the intentional plagiarism is maybe we intentionally do it with money intentions, and unintentional plagiarism could be like we are not aware exactly, or maybe a lack of awareness, or maybe a training that could lead to that situation.
Very right. Thank you so much, Ajay sir. Perfectly right answer. Intentional plagiarism involves deliberate copying, while unintentional plagiarism arises from a lack of awareness or citation errors. How can plagiarism checking tools aid in ethical publishing? Yes.
It is through Turnitin software we can easily minimize the what we call the plagiarism.
Yes, they help detect textual similarity, ensure originality, and guide revision for better citation practices. Which of the following is not a type of plagiarism?
C. Annotated bibliography.
Right, it is C, annotated bibliography. Which tool is widely used for detecting plagiarism?
B.
Turnitin.
This we all know, Turnitin. Now see the sample research model from this viewpoint. Ethical research submission framework. So first of all, we need to conduct literature review. Then we need to draft manuscript. Then we need to apply citation tools like Zotero or Mendeley or any other. Then we need to check with Turnitin or authenticate. And then we need to revise for paraphrasing and attribution. And then the last step is final proofing and submission. Now you can identify and correct plagiarized paragraphs from a sample research.
Madam, can you go to your previous site website links, please?
Pardon?
Website links, madam, the previous slide.
Right. Please go through this. One is Elsevier, another is ORI, another is YouTube video.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Now, strategies for avoiding plagiarism in research writing. Avoiding plagiarism requires strategic effort at each stage of the research writing process. Researchers must develop the skill to paraphrase complex arguments without distorting meaning. Understanding referencing formats such as APA, Chicago, or IEEE is critical to acknowledging sources. Maintaining a research log with notes and sources URLs prevents misattribution. Faculty members should use Turnitin or Authenticate not just for checking the final draft, but iterative during the writing process. Knowing what percentage of similarity is accepted by journals is vital. Ethical writing also involves understanding institutional and Scopus journal policies on originality. For example, journals published by Elsevier recommend a similarity index below 15% for safe submission. Embedding citation habits early, quoting selectively, and interpreting literature review in your own words is what distinguishes ethical scholars from copies. Let us explore this topic. At a private university in Delhi, a faculty development initiative introduced advanced plagiarism prevention techniques. Faculty members were taught to use Mendeley to automatically generate in-text citations and reference lists while writing. One professor who had previously faced plagiarism issues revised her manuscript using paraphrasing strategies and cross-checking each section using Grammarly Premium and Turnitin. The similarity score reduced from 42% to 8%. Her paper on entrepreneurial ecosystems was later accepted by an ABDC ranked journal. This outcome highlights how structured training, citation tools, and proactive revision strategies enable ethical publishing and enhance journal acceptance rates. So why is paraphrasing more effective than quoting in avoiding plagiarism?
Accepting the manuscript.
Okay.
So
So basically,
it helps to, rephrase it and without losing the main essence of the things, and it also facilitated to for the acceptance.
very right, sir. Paraphrasing allows integration of literature in one's own voice while ensuring originality. What is the role of referencing software in plagiarism prevention?
So it obviously it reduces our time as well, and it helps to make it uniformity as per the requirement.
Right. It ensures accurate and automatic citation of all sources, minimizing oversight or misattribution. What is the acceptance similarity index for most Scopus journals?
Below 15.
Right. Which referencing style is commonly used in management research?
APA.
APA.
Right. Full form?
American Psychological Association.
Right. Now see a model, citation-centric writing cycle. So the steps are read and annotate source, paraphrase with contextual understanding, use citation software, insert in-text reference, update bibliography automatically, final review using plagiarism detection. Now the web link is of PMC. You can see if you like.
Yes, madam. Done.
Okay. Now one task for you. You can rewrite 3 plagiarized sentences into original paraphrase versions using APA referencing. Practice these activities. Actually, these are meant for classroom. But since discussion takes time, so I am leaving it up to you to practice. Then embracing academic integrity. Ethical writing is not merely a requirement, but the backbone of credible academic scholarship. Plagiarism in any form erodes trust, impacts career progression, and limits future publication prospects. Faculty must internalize the ethical standards of research and make tools such as citation managers and plagiarism checkers a regular part of their workflow. Adopting ethical practices transforms how researchers interpret and engage with literature. Academic integrity is the key that builds professional respect, ensures accurate dissemination of knowledge, and sustains the purpose of higher education. Every time a scholar submits an original article built on responsible citation, they contribute to a culture of trust and academic excellence. Institutions support peer mentorship, and training sessions like the FDP are critical to cultivating that culture. Now, one activity for you. You can write a 100-word statement of academic integrity as a faculty researcher. So, originality is the essence of true scholarship. Creativity means not copying by Robert Sternberg. Now, let us discuss COPE guidelines. COPE, as we know the full form, Committee on Publication Ethics, provides globally accepted best practices to uphold the ethical integrity of research publications. Its core principles emphasize integrity in data presentation, transparency in methodology, and accountability in authorship. Faculty must be aware that ethical breaches such as data fabrication, falsification, duplicate publication, or inappropriate authorship can result in permanent damage to academic careers. Editors and reviewers rely on COPE guidelines to assess manuscript integrity and potential conflicts of interest. Ethical publishing involves disclosing funding sources, obtaining informed consent if applicable, and clearly stating each author's contributions. In business and management research, integrity in data interpretation, referencing, and collaboration with co-authors is crucial. For instance, misrepresenting qualitative interviews in a case study of consumer behavior to strengthen a hypothesis is a breach of ethical standards. Adhering to COPE's frameworks ensures research credibility and global journal acceptance. Let us explore the topic through a caselet. In 2023, a management professor at a reputed B school in South Asia published a paper on digital marketing strategies in a Scoopers Index journal. Months later, a peer identified striking similarities between the paper and a previously published study in a less known journal. Upon investigation using Turnitin and Authenticate, over 40% content overlap was revealed, with entire paragraphs replicated without citation. The COPE recommended process was initiated. The author was contacted by the editor and requested a formal explanation. The author admitted to using secondary data without proper attribution due to time constraints. The journal issued a retraction, and the author faced disciplinary action from the institution. This case highlighted the importance of following COPE's ethical publication principles and reinforced the need for mandatory ethics training. Why are COPE guidelines essential for business management research? Yes, please.
To identify the similarities between the papers.
Okay.
To uphold the ethical practices all over the globe, so that the uniformity can be maintained and chaos can be avoided.
Right, sir. They establish a standardized ethical framework that protects the integrity and validity of scholarly research. What are the potential institutional consequences of violating publication ethics?
There could be legal consequences, as well as the possibility of getting blacklisted from the journal as well as the institution.
Right. Retraction of papers, loss of academic credibility, suspension of research funding, and disciplinary actions. What is not a core principle of COPE?
Promotion.
Promotion.
Promotion. Who is responsible for initiating investigation in case of ethical breach?
Editor.
Right, it is editor. Now web links. One from the website named Publication Ethics. Another is same website but a specific link where we have discussed the case on plagiarism. You can explore the case. On COP itself website, we can find various cases, and I have made these caselets based on such cases given. Now you can review a real management journal article and identify whether it adheres to COP's core guidelines, and you can share findings in groups. Now, avoiding plagiarism in high impact publishing. Plagiarism in research involves using others' ideas, data, or text without proper credit. This includes direct copying, mosaic plagiarism, that is patch writing, and even self-plagiarism when authors reuse their own published work without disclosure. In business school research, plagiarism often arises in literature reviews or conceptual frameworks. Faculty members must use detection tools such as Turnitin and Authenticate during pre-submission stages. Ethical paraphrasing requires understanding the content and rewriting in one's own words, followed by accurate citation. For example, paraphrasing a Harvard Business Review article on employee motivation requires not just word replacement, but reinterpretation in the research context. Institutions must educate researchers through ethical workshops, referencing guidelines, and mandatory plagiarism checks. Encouraging original contributions build academic reputation and strengthens faculty output in Scoopus and ABDC ranked journals. Now see the caselet to understand. A faculty team from a North Indian management institution submitted a manuscript to a Scoopus journal based on leadership strategies during COVID-19. The editor flagged a 35% similarity score through Authenticate. On review, multiple sentences from two global reports were directly copied into the literature review without citation. The authors claimed they were unaware of referencing protocols. The journal rejected the paper and provided COP's educational resources. The institution responded by introducing training sessions on citation practices and implemented a Turnitin policy requiring all submissions to show less than 10% similarity. Within a year, faculty output improved both in quality and compliance. So how can academic institutions prevent unintentional plagiarism among faculty?
So the only method is to make them aware with the training and FDPs.
Right. Through regular ethics training, use of detection software, and mentorship during manuscript development. What is the role of paraphrasing in ethical writing? Role of paraphrasing.
It is just to give a professional, professional look to your own words, which we have already compiled.
Okay. It allows authors to convey others' ideas in their voice while maintaining originality and citation. Which of the following is not a type of plagiarism?
C.
Right. It is collaborative innovation. Which software is widely used to detect similarity in manuscripts?
Turnitin.
Right. Now web links. One is ORI, other is Elsevier. 7 ways to avoid academic plagiarism. Right. And in the first link, we have discussed 28 guidelines glance avoiding plagiarism. Should we move further?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now you can use a provided paragraph from a business journal and attempt ethical paraphrasing. Then check similarity using Grammarly or Quillbot. So you can perform these activities to improve your skills. Now, research integrity model for ethical publishing. Ethical publishing is a structured process. The research integrity model offers 5 practical steps. First, identify potential ethical concerns at the research design phase. This includes authorship clarity and source credibility. Second, align writing practices with COPE standards. Each author should be aware of contribution norms. Third, employ tools like Turnitin before submission to journals to detect inadvertent copying. Fourth, maintain a repository of cited references to avoid misattribution. Finally, transparent collaboration is essential. Shared access to drafts, tracking edits, and agreeing on responsibilities. In one MBA research project, an author team used a shared Google Drive and ran drafts through Grammarly and Authenticate before submitting to the Asia Pacific Journal of Management. This systematic approach avoided ethical issues and resulted in acceptance after minor revisions. At a Western Indian university, faculty collaborated on a sustainability research article. They faced delays due to unclear responsibilities, confusion over paraphrasing, and citation mismatches. One co-author suggested a stepwise model for integrity. They first mapped their sources using Mendeley, assigned sections with tracked contributions, used Turnitin with a threshold of 12%, and held weekly review meetings. The final manuscript scored 6% similarity. It was accepted by a Scopus Index journal within 6 weeks. This structured model has now become part of the university's internal research SOP. What is the advantage of collaborative research? Transparency. Yes, please. It prevents disputes, ensures accountability, and promotes integrity throughout the writing process. How does a structured model help in preventing plagiarism? It establishes checkpoints that catch ethical lapses before submission. Which tool is used for organizing references ethically? Yes?
Mendeley.
Right, Mendeley. What should be the ideal similarity score for journal acceptance?
Below 15%.
Right, below 15%. Web links? Then you can form a group and we can discuss the steps in research integrity model, and then we can develop and present a checklist based on that step. Now we can discuss about Turnitin. Navigating the landscape of ethical research publication. As we embark on the journey to master research article writing for high impact journals, a foundational pillar of our discussion must be ethical publishing. The credibility and impact of your research are inextricably linked to the integrity of your work. Plagiarism in its various forms poses a significant threat to this integrity, potentially leading to severe consequences, including rejection, retraction, and damage to your professional reputation. Today, we introduce Turnitin not merely as a plagiarism detection software, but as a comprehensive tool that empowers you to ensure the originality of your scholarly contributions and navigate the ethical landscape of academic publishing with confidence. It serves as a valuable resource throughout your writing process, aiding in proper citation and fostering a culture of academic honesty. Now see this caselet. Dr. Sharma, a promising management faculty member, submitted an article to a reputable Scopus Index journal. After acceptance, the editorial team conducted a routine check using Turnitin and found a 28% similarity index with significant overlap in the literature review section with the previously published article by a different author. Further investigation revealed that while Dr. Sharma had cited the original source, several paragraphs were paraphrased too closely without substantial alteration, constituting plagiarism. The journal retracted the paper, severely impacting Dr. Sharma's publication record and future prospects. What are some of the less obvious forms of plagiarism that researchers might inadvertently commit?
Several paragraphs were paraphrased too closely without
Right,
altering.
right. So, patch writing. What is patch writing? Where only a few words are changed in the source. Incorrect or incomplete citations. Reusing one's own previously published work without proper acknowledgement, that is self-plagiarism. How does maintaining ethical publishing standards contribute to the overall credibility of a business school and its faculty? It enhances the reputation of the institution for producing high quality, trustworthy research,
आधा तो गाने भी
attracting
कर रहा है, आधा ये
collaborations.
सुनता नहीं।
Pardon,
आप ये फोन
Neelama?
में कर लो, ये फोन मुझे दे दो, चलो।
Attracting collaborations, funding, and recognition in
बोल
the
रही है।
academic community. Which of the following best describes plagiarism in academic writing? Yes,
D,
it is.
D,
सी
Which one?
Collaborating with colleagues.
D,
Which one?
D. Quoting extensively.
Is it D?
सी
Anyone else?
Okay, B. Collaborating.
B.
B?
Collaborating with colleagues on research.
Is it a plagiarism if you collaborate with colleagues?
presenting someone else's work without proper
Right.
attribution.
It is C. Presenting someone else's work as your own without proper attribution. This is plagiarism in academic writing. What is the potential consequence of publishing plagiarized work in a high impact journal?
Retraction of the published article and damage the author's
Right. Right. Now you can complete a sample research model. What we can do is, okay, I think this we have already discussed in the yesterday's session. Here are certain web links. Like one is of Turnitin, another one is a research paper, avoiding plagiarism, self-plagiarism, and other questionable writing practices. And I have given the source also. Right? Should we move ahead?
Yes, madam. Done.
Thank you. Thank you. Now you can think of a research paper you are currently working on or have recently submitted. What you need to do is briefly outline the steps you took to ensure that it is free from plagiarism. Did you use any specific strategies or tools? And you can share your experiences with your author, maybe. Now, mastering Turnitin for enhanced research integrity. Now that we understand the significance of ethical publishing, let us delve into the practical application of Turnitin. Upon submitting your manuscript, Turnitin generates a similarity report, which highlights sections of your text that match existing sources in its extensive database. It is crucial to understand that a high similarity score doesn't automatically equate to plagiarism. It merely indicates the percentage of your text that overlaps with other sources. Your task is to critically analyze this report. We will walk through the Turnitin interface, demonstrating how to upload your document and interpret the different sections of the similarity report. We will then focus on effective strategies for reducing similarity, such as mastering the art of paraphrasing while retaining the original meaning and correctly integrating quotations with precise citations according to your chosen style guide, be it APA, MLA, or Chicago. Now, Dr. Verma used Turnitin to check her manuscript before submitting it to a Scopus Index journal. The initial similarity report showed a 35% match. Upon closer examination, she noticed that a significant portion of the overlap came from a properly cited definitions and methodological descriptions commonly used in her field. However, she also identified instances where her paraphrasing of key theoretical concepts was too close to the original sources. Dr. Verma then revised these sections, ensuring that she rephrased the ideas in her own words and provided clear and accurate citations. The subsequent Turnitin report showed a reduced similarity score of 18%, and her manuscript was successfully submitted and later accepted. What are some common reasons for a high Turnitin similarity score that do not necessarily indicate plagiarism? Yes. Similarity is there, but is not considered plagiarism. Why?
It is properly cited, probably.
Very right. Properly quoted material, correctly cited common phrases, or definitions within a specific discipline, and the author's own previously published work, if not properly cited. How can researchers effectively paraphrase sources to avoid plagiarism while still accurately representing the original author's ideas?
Explaining them in their own words, own sentences.
Right? Read and understand the original text thoroughly, then rewrite it in your own words without looking at the original, focusing on conveying the same meaning using different sentence structures and vocabulary. Always cite the original source. So what you can do is you can read one paragraph or one sentence, and after some time, maybe 5-10 minutes or 30 minutes, you just think, after closing that particular document you have gone through, and start writing in your words. It will be original and there is no need even to paraphrase. Whatever you come across, whatever you want to quote, just go through it, then give some time, and after some time start writing in your own words. You will never find this issue. What does a Turnitin similarity report primarily indicate?
The
See,
percentage of text that matches other sources in the
Very
Turnitin
right,
report.
very right. Which of the following is a crucial element of proper citation?
C. Accurately attributing all ideas, quotes, and paraphrased information to their original sources using a consistent citation style.
Right, ma'am. Very right, Neena, ma'am. Now here is the web link of Turnitin. You can see what is the impact of self-plagiarism for researchers. So this is basically a blog on Turnitin on self-plagiarism. Should we go further? Done with the reference
Yes, ma'am.
or the web link? Okay. Now you can take a short paragraph from one of your published papers or a draft manuscript. Try to paraphrase it in two different ways, ensuring that the meaning is retained, but the wording and sentence structure are significantly different. And then discuss the challenges you face during this exercise. Cultivating a culture of academic honesty and research excellence. So you can make it a habit. In our final segment, we shift our focus towards proactively cultivating a culture of academic honesty and research excellence within our business school community. Preventing accidental plagiarism is paramount. This involves meticulous note taking, clear distinction between your ideas and those of others, and developing strong paraphrasing and summarizing skills. Furthermore, we must address the often overlooked issue of self plagiarism, the reuse of your own previously published work without proper citation. Turnitin can serve as a valuable tool for continuous improvement, helping you identify areas where your writing or citation practices need refinement. Ultimately, upholding the highest ethical standards in research and publications is not just an individual responsibility, but a collective commitment that strengthens our academic community and enhances the global impact of our scholarly contributions. Now, let us explore it further. Professor Khan was preparing a new research article that built upon a theoretical framework he had extensively developed in a previous publication. To expedite the writing process, he directly copied several paragraphs describing the framework from his earlier work into the new manuscript without explicitly citing it. When he submitted the article to a high impact journal, the Turnitin report highlighted a significant overlap with his previous publication. The editor flagged this as self plagiarism, emphasizing the need for proper citation even when reusing one's own material to ensure transparency and avoid misrepresenting the novelty of the current work. Professor Khan revised his manuscript, appropriately citing his earlier work and clearly distinguishing the new contributions of the current paper. What are some practical strategies researchers can implement during writing process to minimize the risk of accidental plagiarism? Yes.
Transparency and novelty of the current work.
Okay. Transparency and novelty of the current work. Okay. Any other answer? So maintaining detailed record of sources. You can make an Excel also if you like. Using quotation marks for direct quotes from the beginning. Paraphrasing immediately after reading a source rather than copying and pasting. And double checking citations before submissions. Like I said, give a time gap of 10, 15 or 30 minutes and then rewrite in your words without opening the document you are referring to. Why is self-plagiarism considered an ethical issue in academic publishing even though the author is reusing their own work? Yes.
Because the content is already published and they feel that it is not his own work, maybe copied.
No, it is his own work. He is copying his own work.
Yes.
I think to
Already
ensure
the
the novelty of the current one.
Pardon? Please repeat, Ajit sir.
I think that will help you to help author or even other publishing house to maintain the novelty of the current work.
Okay. Ma'am, you were also saying something?
Yeah, because the document is already published, and if it is same similar, then even though the author is writing on his own, it doesn't consider as an not copied.
Right. So basically, it can misrepresent the originality and novelty of new research. Whatever he has written might be written in some other context. Potentially violate copyright agreements with publishers. He has already given the copyrights to the publisher of the previous work. So he is violating that copyright agreement. And third, distort the scholarly record. Which of the following constitutes self-plagiarism? Yes, please.
C.
Right. It is C. Reusing substantial portions of your previously published work in a new manuscript without proper citation. How can Turnitin contribute to fostering a culture of academy?
C.
Again, see.
By providing, yes, ma'am. By providing feedback
Yeah, I
that
was
helps
telling
authors
again, see.
understand.
Again.
Yes, please. Please repeat, ma'am.
Yeah, we are saying the same thing again, see.
Okay,
Again,
okay.
see. We are saying again, see. Yes.
Right. By providing feedback that helps authors understand and improve their citation and paraphrasing skills. Now web links. One is of Elsevier, focusing on plagiarism direction. Another is a research article on avoiding plagiarism. Should we move ahead?
Madam.
Okay.
Yes.
Now what you can do is you can reflect on your own experiences with using sources in your research writing. You may identify one instance when you found it challenging to paraphrase effectively or ensure proper citations. What did you learn from that experience, and how might Turnitin have been helpful in that situation? You can think of and perform the activity. Now, predatory journals. The shadowy side of scholarly publishing, understanding predatory journals. As we navigate the landscape of publishing in high impact journals, it is crucial to be aware of a significant threat to ethical publishing, that is, predatory journals. These deceptive publications exploit the pressure to publish by soliciting manuscripts through aggressive spamming and promising rapid publication with little to no peer review. Recognizing the characteristics of these journals is paramount. They often lack transparency, have unprofessional websites with grammatical errors, claim to be indexed in reputable databases, they are not, and change exorbitant and often hidden fees. Publishing in such outlets carries severe ethical implications, damaging your reputation and the credibility of your research. Furthermore, the lack of rigorous review in predatory journals can inadvertently facilitate the dissemination of plagiarized or low quality work, creating a nexus between predatory practices and academic dishonesty. I hope earlier we had UGC Care. You can see on the website there is a list of journals where we have one on one side the name of the original journal and on the other side the cloned journals. Like there is a name of journal XYZ and they add the word journal to it. They also keep ISSN number same. So it is very difficult. So what you can do is you can type the name of the journal in the Google and you can type SciMago and you can check the name. Or you can directly go to the Scopus website if you have in your account, which you cannot create on your own. It can be created once you get your paper indexed in Scopus. So there are two ways to search, either by the title or by the author search. I hope you are aware of these things. If you want, I can show you the websites, the links, how to search.
Yes, ma'am, please.
You want to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know how to find proper appropriate journals for your research using your abstract or title? Journal finders, are you aware of? No?
Ma'am, please focus on this also. We are trying but not succeed.
Okay, okay. So I'll show you. Let us complete this slide and then I'll show you the different websites by
Thank you,
sharing
ma'am.
the link, right? I'll share it on the screen. Dr. Gupta, a junior faculty member, received an email invitation to submit a paper to the International Journal of Innovation Management and Technology. The email boasted a quick review process and a broad scope. Lacking experience, Dr. Gupta submitted his manuscript. He was quickly informed of its acceptance and asked to pay a substantial publication fee. The journal's website looked unprofessional and attempts to contact the editorial board went unanswered. Later, a senior colleague recognized the journal as a potentially predatory. Dr. Gupta's paper was eventually published, but it lacked any meaningful peer review and was not indexed in any reputable database, providing no academic value and potentially harming his professional standing. Yes, this is one important aspect, that whenever such people contact you, they will always emphasize on getting the article published. Your article may get published but will never get indexed. So ask for indexing, not for publishing. What are some of the initial warning signs that might indicate a journal is potentially predatory. Yes, please.
Lack of transparency and mismanaged website probably of a journal can be initial warning signs that can lead to a predatory journals.
Right. Aggressive and unsolicited email invitations, promises of very rapid publication, a broad and often irrelevant journal scope, a lack of transparency about the editorial board and review process, and demands for high publication fees before acceptance. How can publishing a predatory journal negatively impact a researcher's career and the broader academic community?
Because original work is exposed in a public domain, probably that is not, since it is not indexed, so it is not contributing any academically, and you may be doing it by mistake, but it will be considered as like you did done it intentionally, so that it will definitely take your credibility on a stake, and researcher's career can be badly hampered.
Right. It can damage the researcher's reputation, devalue their work, hinder career progression, and contribute to the spread of low quality or unethical research, eroding trust in scholarly publishing. Which of the following is a common characteristic of predatory journals? Yes, please.
C.
See,
Right,
Unsolicited and aggressive.
right. What is a significant ethical concern associated with publishing in predatory journals?
B.
Okay, it is no, not B.
Sorry,
Give one more try. It is
C.
C. C.
yeah, it is C. Lack of quality control and potential for disseminating flawed or plagiarized work. Okay. Here are some web links. One is on the publication ethics.org, plagiarism possible predatory journal. Then think, check, submit.org, then one research article on predatory publishers published in Nature. Should we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can examine the website of a journal you are considering for submission using the red flags discussed. List at least 3 characteristics that either raise concerns or provide confidence in its legitimacy. Share your analysis with a small group. The dangerous lies in how predatory journals facilitate plagiarism. The absence of robust peer review in predatory journals creates a fertile environment for the dissemination of plagiarized content. Without expert scrutiny, manuscripts containing unoriginal material are less likely to be identified and rejected. This not only undermines the integrity of the scholarly record, but also exposes authors who unknowingly or knowingly submit plagiarized work to publication. Furthermore, predatory publishers often exploit authors by retaining copyright without their full understanding or agreement, raising serious ethical concerns about the ownership and reuse of their research. They may also falsely claim high impact factors or affiliations with reputable organizations to lure researchers. unsuspecting researchers. Therefore, it is paramount to develop effective strategies for discerning legitimate journals from predatory ones. This includes carefully evaluating the journal's website, editorial board, peer review process, and indexing in recognized databases like Scopus and the transparency of its publication fees. If you want quick publication, you can go for open source journals, right? But the authentic ones. I hope, do you know how to download the list of discontinued journals on the Scopus website? No? I'll show how to find. Dr. Patel submitted a review. Yes,
Based on quartile, something we can identify, I heard.
I'll show you.
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you.
Patel submitted, yes, ma'am. Dr. Patel submitted a review article to a journal that claimed to have a high impact factor. Shortly after submission, it was accepted and he was asked to pay a significant fee. He later discovered that the claimed impact factor was fabricated and the journal was not indexed in any reputable database like Elsevier or Sage or Emerald or Scopus. Worse, a colleague found significant portions of Dr. Patel's original work review were directly copied from several other published articles without proper citation. Because of the predatory journal's lack of oversight, this plagiarism went undetected during their superficial review process. Right? Severely damaging Dr. Patel's reputation when the issue was eventually brought to the light of the academic community. How does the absence of rigor peer review in predatory journals increase the risk of publishing plagiarized work? Yes. Without expert evaluation, there is no thorough check for originality, proper citation, and adherence to ethical standards, allowing plagiarized content to slip through the publication process. What steps can researchers take to verify the legitimacy and reputation of a journal before submitting their work? As I told you, check if the journal is indexed in reputable database like Scopus or Web of Science. And to save time and to get better benefits, look for journals which are indexed in Scopus as well as Web of Science as well as ABDC. This will save your time. One article can be considered in all three places. Also check the duration for which the journal remained indexed in Scopus. How to do that, I'll show just after the completion of these slides in another 5-10 minutes. Check if the journal is indexed in reputable database like Scopus or Web of Science. Examine the editorial board for recognized experts in the field. Look for clear information about the peer review process and be wary of journals with overly broad scopes or promises of exceptionally rapid publication. Why is the lack of rigorous peer review in predatory journals a significant concern for ethical publishing? Yes, please.
C.
It is
C.
C. It fails to identify and filter out flawed, unethical, or plagiarized research. Right? What is the deceptive tactic often employed by predatory journals regarding their impact and indexing?
Falsely claiming indexing in prominent databases. C.
It is C. Falsely claiming indexing in prominent databases or inviting or inventing misleading impact factors. Right. Web link of PMC. This is an article on identifying predatory journals, and then one suggested reading of a blog, right? No, doubt the blog is now not active, but still provides valuable insights. Imagine you receive an invitation to submit to a journal you have never heard of. Using online resources and criteria discussed, conduct a brief investigation to determine if it might be predatory, and then present your findings and reasonings. Safeguard your scholarship, ethical publishing in reputable journals. The pursuit of publishing in high-impact journals should always prioritize quality and ethical standards over the allure of rapid publication offered by the predatory outlets. Our goal is to equip you with strategies to identify and target reputable Scopus journals that adhere to rigorous peer review and ethical guidelines. Familiarize yourself with resources like Scopus database itself, journal ranking lists, and Think, Check, Submit initiative. Understanding how to interpret journal metrics responsibly, recognizing that impact factor is just one aspect of a journal's quality and relevance. Ultimately, we aim to cultivate a culture of critical evaluation within our faculty, where thoughtful consideration of a journal's legitimacy and ethical practices guides our publication choices, ensuring the integrity and impact of our research. Dr. Sneh meticulously researched potential journals for his latest manuscript. He consulted the Scopus database to identify journals in his field with strong citation records and transparent editorial processes. He carefully reviewed the instructions for authors of his shortlisted journals, paying attention to their peer review policies and ethical guidelines. He also consulted with senior colleagues who had experience publishing in these outlets. By prioritizing these factors over journal promising quick publication, Dr. Singh successfully published his work in a well-reputed, well-regarded Scopus Index journal, enhancing its visibility and impact within the academic community. Beyond indexing in Scopus, what other indicators can help researchers assess the quality and ethical standards of a journal? Yes, please.
I think impact factor, editorial board, and reputation of the reviewers.
Right, right. The reputation and expertise of the editorial board members and the clarity and detail of the peer-reviewed process described on the website. Membership in professional publishing organizations such as COPE and the journal's history and longevity. How can senior faculty members play a role in mentoring junior colleagues to avoid the pitfall of predatory journals?
Helping them to identify the predatory journals and their consequences, so that they should not become prey to these predatory journals.
Okay, so by sharing their experiences, providing guidance on journal selection, emphasizing the importance of ethical considerations, and directing them to resources for evaluating journal legitimacy. What is a reliable way to identify reputable journals for academic publishing?
See,
Right. Consulting databases like Scopus and Web of Science to identify index journals in your field. What is the primary responsibility of researchers in maintaining ethical publishing practices?
again, see.
Right. To ensure the originality and integrity of their work and to choose reputable publication outlets. You can develop a checklist of at least 5 criteria you will use to evaluate the legitimacy and ethical standards of any journal you consider for future submissions. You can share and discuss your checklist with your co-authors. Then, championing ethical research and responsible publication. By understanding the deceptive practices of predatory outlets and prioritizing reputable ethical avenues for dissemination, we safeguard the integrity of our research and contribute meaningfully to the advancement of knowledge in management. Let us commit to a culture of responsible scholarship where rigor, ethics, and impact guide our publication endeavors. So I think now let us move on to the website. Okay, let me show you something. Let me share the screen. Okay. Do you have Scopus account? Anyone here?
Yes, we have.
You have, so you have your papers indexed in Scopus, right?
No, no, no. I tried, I published for five different art, journals. But once I got published, then those were removed from the list. That is my
Okay.
bad experience.
Okay. But I don't think they remove it once it get indexed.
Not
But
indexed,
sometimes
ma'am.
journal get also,
Is
delisted
published
from the Scopus index. That could be the reason.
No,
when they were
even if it is
accepting.
delisted, but if it is there at the time of indexing, it should be there in your account. Journal can
When
be
they were
removed.
accepting for publication, it was there in Scopus. When they accepted for publication, it was
Yeah,
there in the Scopus. And one journal, after publishing, they removed the list, but they have not given any indexing.
right. So it was predatory basically. Okay, let me show you the website. Now see, I am showing you my link, right? See, this is the original website of Scopus, www.scopus.com. And this number given at the end is your author ID. But how did you get? You see here affiliation, second name followed by first name or surname followed by first name. Then the name of the organization, the affiliation you mentioned with the paper, in the paper will come here as a default and you get your account created in Scopus. And this is the ORCID ID. Hope you are familiar with ORCID ID.
Yes,
Everyone
ma'am.
must have profile on LinkedIn,
I have
ORCID,
IRBs.
Scopus, then with one for profile, right? Now see here the number of documents and the author profile, right? Now what I am trying to show here is, see at the top, we have two options. One is author search, means you can search in by the name of author if you are familiar with. You are looking for an article and these are certain fields on the basis of which you can fill and you can find the articles or the journals. Or you can go for sources and you can check, find the article. Like if I want to find a journal by this name, this is a journal listed in Emerald. What I'm trying to show here, just focus on it. Now see, when I pasted it, I got this information. Now I clicked on it, right? Now see, what I'm trying to focus here is the details of the journal, years currently covered in Scopus. It is continuously indexed for many years. Publisher, see, right? Source type and other things. And here you can see the site score, SJR, SNIP and other things, right? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Another
Yes.
thing that you want to know is how to find the list of discontinued journals or the journals listed in Scopus, right? So how we can get it? Let me show it again. I think I need to share the screen again. Okay. So Scopus preview means the limited edition with limited rights. Now see, when I clicked on home, you can see here Scopus source list, book title list, and Scopus discontinued source list. Now if I go for this Scopus source list, I'll get it downloaded in the form of Excel by default, I think. Yeah, here I got this. Download the source list, including discontinued source list. If I click on it, now what I got is an Excel. Let me show it to you what I got. Just a moment. Yes. Now let me share the screen again. I need to stop this so that I can show you what I obtained after downloading it. Okay. So let me open it first so that I can explain it. So whenever you want to publish any article, just go through it and go for the list, the recent list. No need to download and save. Whenever you are planning, just see it then only. Yes. So you see what I got it. You can apply filters here. And now you can see the journals of your domain. You can see different fields here, source title, ISSN, ESSN, active or inactive. First apply filter here. Go only for active journals. Do not consider the inactive ones. First thing. Then you can see the coverage. Another thing that you need to focus is, see here, this is one field, title discontinued by Scopus due to quality issue. Clear? Then apply filter on this domain also, this field. Article language. Obviously, we need articles only in English. So you can select all fields where ENG is written. So this will help you getting list filtered. You can, select all these fields with ENG. Suppose I selected this one just to show. Okay, now the list got reduced, right? Okay. Again, if I deselect it, because I want to show you something else, and I have not selected all the ENG options. Okay. Another thing, we can put ENG here. Okay. It will select all ENG. Yeah. This is better way. Now see the category. Medicine sourced, we do not need open access. If you want, added to list, do not select for journals which have been listed during last 1 year, because you will not get citations And for 1 year, if any new journal is there, Scoopus observes the journal status for 1 year, and it may get delisted again. So do not go for recently added journals. Then previous names, some journals got renamed. Then publishers, if you are looking for any particular publisher, like if I prefer Emerald, I can select journals of Emerald or Springer Nature from here. Then you see your domain, life sciences, social sciences, physical sciences, health sciences, so many domains. Suppose I select this one. So leave all blanks. Now the list will get reduced further. So this way you can apply and you can find the journals and you can check the status of your journals. This is one way to analyze. Another, your abstract is ready or your title is ready and you are looking for a suitable journal so that you can get your paper published. So how we will do that? Let me show it to you. So what we can do is, in Google you can type Scoopus Journal Finder, Finder, and what we will get. I think you all are aware now Scoopus is being taken care of by or taken over by Elsevier, right? So what you can do here is, you do not even need your account for this. If you have, you can create your account in Elsevier even without publications. Now let me show it to you. Okay, no, the first I did this. Okay, then this one. Wait. Just a moment. Why it is not showing? Yes. Now you see this. When I typed in Google Scoopus Journal Finder, I landed upon this page, journalfinder.elsevier.com. Right? If your abstract is ready, match my abstract. You can paste your abstract here and you can put maximum 5,000 characters. Please note these are characters and not words. And you can find journals of your interest. Similarly, if you have some keywords or aim and scope or journal title, if you click here, you will get this option and you can find journal of your choice. Is it fine? I hope
Yes,
this
ma'am.
helps you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So should I explain the same thing for Web of Science also? Or the SciMago kind of thing that I was discussing to avoid plagiarism? Suppose I'm looking for the same journal and I write SciMago in the Google. Okay, let me show you one more link here. Now see, what I did is I pasted the name of the journal that I opened earlier also, GKMC, the full name. And then I typed the word SCIMAGO in Google. And then I landed upon this page. Now I can check the details of the journal here also. Global Knowledge, Memory and Communication. And here you can look for the journal website. and the other details. Now see, if it is a predatory journal, they may write @gkmc.org.in or anything else. But see, and from here you can go to the home page of the journal. So if I click home page, as we know, this journal belongs to which group? I have shown you earlier. It is from Emerald. Yeah. So when I click on the home page,
Madam, we are unable to hear you, madam.
okay.
You're not audible, ma'am.
Okay, sorry for that. Now I'm saying that we landed up on the page of Emerald from that website, web link, when I pasted the name of the journal and wrote SciMago in front of it. This is another way to find. And do you want to see the website of Web of Science? Or you can explore it yourself?
I think we can explore it, ma'am. I think Shimago and Scopus is sufficient.
Okay. Website of Web of Science is in the name of Clarivate. I hope you are aware. When you
Yeah.
type Web of Science, you will end up in Clarivate. Similarly, ABDC, you can find the journal list and again the journal finder and other things. Okay. So any queries if you have, you can ask. Anything you want to ask, you can ask.
Madam, good evening.
Yes.
Madam, can you suggest any AI tools for writing the research papers?
I do not recommend any AI tool. If you are looking for some guidance or some help or some clue for a particular parameter, you can just get some idea, but not for writing the paper. I do not believe in first writing the paper and then getting it, then spending time on editing it, paraphrasing it, re-paraphrasing it, checking plagiarism again and again. What is my
Ma'am,
philosophy is read something, get some ideas, write in your own words. Even if you write one paragraph or one page a day, it is sufficient.
Okay,
Yes.
madam. Okay,
Yeah.
madam. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. You were asking something?
Yeah, madam.
Yeah.
Just can you please let us know what exactly the journals will take good time amount of time to publish our article along with the fee minimum, some kind of a range.
Yes, ma'am. If you see the Scoopus list, we have journals which are publishing on, you see, usually on quarterly basis, half yearly, annual, or biannual basis. But you may find some journals which are publishing even on monthly basis. That you need to explore. But again, I recommend please do not fall into the
Yeah.
wrong
Do they
hands.
charge anything? Do they charge anything,
Ma'am,
ma'am? Because I
only
saw
in case of scoopers, only open access journals, they charge and it is clearly mentioned on their website.
Okay.
But
Thank
usually
you.
the fee to be paid varies from $350 to maybe $3,200 US dollars. I'm talking about maybe more. So amount to be paid is too high. But it is authentic. It is as per the permission, as per the norms. Nothing, false. Nothing wrong in it. No predatory thing. The Excel sheet or the way I told you how to find the credibility of the journal through Scoopus website is the best source.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to ask? Anyone? Please
Uh,
ask.
Ma'am, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Monika, it was nice session.
Thank
Definitely,
you,
we are
sir.
looking forward for some more hands-on session as well. Please,
Thank you.
one very challenging thing I find, whenever I start reading, over a period of week, probably it create boredom. So please help me how to be remain interested in reading and in the research. Are there any some secrets or just keep on reading?
Basically, it's your passion. I hope all of us belong to management. And the first principle is the division of work. First, divide the whole into parts in a manner that these become interesting, these become achievable. Just take up defining the title only, identifying keywords, and patting yourself, motivating yourself once you are done with your title initially. Then go for initial abstract, though final rest abstract can be written only at the end. Then appreciate yourself, your efforts. Discuss with your colleagues, peers, friends, co authors, join various blogs, look for novelty, look for new things. Basically, develop passion. Another thing is if you feel bored, you may make use of colors. We have highlighters if you are working online. Even if you work offline, you first write offline, then convert it online. You may make use of various highlights or highlighters or anything else that helps you maintaining your interest. Or another thing is you can go for exploring various websites for getting new ideas. Like you want to propose some strategies, look for what is going on at present and what is likely to happen in future. It's just like challenging yourself or developing curiosity. Once you are able to develop curiosity, you will never get bored, or you have the passion or the thirst for novelty. It will keep you going. This is what I believe.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that is more than enough to be motivated. Definitely, what the consistency and motivation is what the
Yeah.
outcome we are expecting. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I think self motivation is the best thing in the world, and the positive
Exactly, ma'am.
attitude.
Exactly.
Then passion and consistency. Consistency is very, tough word. Maintaining consistency is very, very challenging. Consistency has to be done despite all odds. Anything else? And you may suggest some topics you are looking for in times to come for such sessions. If anyone is interested, you may share your views.
It could be better if you conduct a session on structural equation modeling, madam.
Okay. Any other topic other than SCM?
Ma'am, any tool like probably which is more helpful can I mean like I am looking for some hands-on training so that we can practice and we can implement. So that I think that would be the good idea, ma'am.
Okay. Can you suggest some tools which you are looking for?
Not specific, but then even for example, if even though if you were going for some systematic literature review or some sort of things or Kano or something, so I think that would be the the better idea, with which at least one session we can it can help us to at least take this one paper ahead, and over a period of time, if you keep on learning on a skills, then it will definitely contribute to for more academic research. So that is
So
what
we can,
I'm thinking.
yeah, we can have a session on SLR, systematic literature review and biblio, uh, uh, that is using bibliometric analysis using WAS viewer.
That could be, I think, a
Anything?
good idea, ma'am.
Yeah, that we can do. Okay. Some we can think of in times to come. Anything else? Okay, thank you so much for your valuable feedback and your interest. Ajit sir, were you there yesterday also?
Yeah, ma'am, I was there yesterday. I have taken screenshots and will be reading it. Obviously, Professor Datta will be sharing this, the video recording. But yeah, I have taken my own ways, and definitely I'm going to use it for my further papers, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.